They say that during Obon, when the veil between the living and the dead grows thin, those you've lost may return to you. But when love crosses that boundary, will it save you? Or will it take you with it into the dark? The summer air in Edo was thick and warm, carrying the faint scent of incense from 100 temple courtyards. Paper lanterns swayed gently over narrow streets, their painted faces glowing with soft amber light. Shinzaburō, a young samurai without a master, walked alone. Once he had served a great lord, riding into battle with purpose and pride. Now, he lived in a small, bare house on the edge of town. His sword kept polished, though it had no master to serve. He had grown used to the quiet. But on nights like this, it felt like the silence itself was pressing against his chest. It was Obon, the festival when families welcome the spirits of their ancestors back from the other world. Lanterns were lit to guide them home, and the streets carried the soft hum of temple bells and distant shamisen strings. Shinzaburō told himself he was only walking to feel the night air. But perhaps he was looking for something else. Turning a corner near a willow-lined street, he saw her. A young woman in a summer kimono patterned with white peonies, her dark hair arranged simply, yet with such grace it seemed effortless. In her hand, she carried a paper lantern painted with a great white peony, its glow washing over her face in gold and rose. Beside her walked a maid, older, steady-eyed, carrying a second lantern. Their pace slowed as they passed him. The woman's eyes met his, and for a moment, the rest of the street blurred away. Her smile was gentle, the kind that seemed to know a part of you you'd never shown anyone. "Good evening, sir," she said, her voice like a soft note from a koto string. They spoke briefly, exchanging names. She was called Otsuyu. Before they parted, she said, "Perhaps I will see you again, tomorrow night." The next night, she came, and the night after. Always with the peony lantern, always after sunset. They would sit together in the warm glow of the paper light and a single candle, speaking of nothing and everything. The room felt different when she was there, quieter, as if even the night insects outside had stopped to listen. Her touch was cool, like the surface of a stone at twilight. Her eyes held a sadness he didn't ask about. He didn't care where she lived, or why she always came so late. In her presence, the emptiness he carried for so long seemed to fade. But neighbors noticed things. One warm night, a man walking past Shinzaburō's home heard the muffled sound of laughter. Curious, he leaned toward a small gap in the shoji screen. Inside, by the light of the peony lantern, he saw Shinzaburō seated close to two women. But their faces were gone. Their flesh was gone. In Shinzaburō's arms was the skeleton of a woman in a faded kimono, her empty eye sockets turned toward him in affection. The maid was nothing but bone, her fingers curled around the lantern's handle. The light inside it flickered strangely, as though it were not flame at all. The neighbor stumbled back into the street, heart pounding. By morning, he had gone to the temple to tell the priest. The priest came to Shinzaburō that afternoon. "You must hear me," he said, grave and firm. "The woman you call Otsuyu died months ago. Her grave lies in the west yard of this very temple. That lantern she carries is no ordinary light. It is the guide of the dead, leading her from her world to yours. Each night she visits, she draws warmth and life from you." The priest placed protective charms into Shinzaburo's hands. Place these on your doors and windows. Do not speak to her again, no matter how she calls. That night, Shinzaburō sat in darkness, the charms fixed firmly in place. The cicadas outside hummed endlessly, but to him, the air felt too still. Then came the faint sound of Geta sandals on the path, and then her voice came, trembling, fragile, like someone holding back tears. Shinzaburō, why have you locked me out? Did I do something wrong? The maid's voice followed. It is cold out here. Please open the door, just for a moment. Shinzaburō shut his eyes, gripping his knees until they ached. He wanted to tear the charms away, but he didn't. Eventually, the voices faded into the night. But the ache they left in his heart only deepened. Days passed. He ate little, slept less. When night fell on the last evening of Obon, the longing became unbearable. And then, the sound came again. Geta sandals, the Peony lantern's faint glow slipping through the shoji. Shinzaburō, I miss you. The charms seemed heavy in his hands, hateful things that kept her away. Slowly, he peeled them from the doorframe. The door slid open. There she stood. Otsuyu, the Peony lantern painting her face in gold, her smile radiant. She stepped inside. The door closed, and the lantern's glow deepened to something not quite of this world. The next morning, the neighbor returned with the priest. The room was still. The Peony lantern lay on its side, unlit. Shinzaburo's body lay on the floor, cold, his lips curved into a faint smile. Beside him was the skeleton of a woman in a faded summer kimono. They say Otsuyu still walks during Obon, her lantern glowing in the summer night. If you see her, do not follow. For some loves are meant to remain in the other world. Would you open the door if love called your name? If you enjoyed this story, subscribe for more timeless stories from across the globe. New tales every week.